Oh, when someone you care passes away, of course, you want to remember them.
Los Dias de los Muertos keeps those memories alive. Events in Omaha start on Sunday.
Linda Garcia Rivera and brother William Woger are here as well. Good to see both of you this morning.
Hi, brother.
So what's the difference here between Halloween and Dia de los Muertos?
Muertos.
Muertos.
You were really close.
Muertos. I almost got it.
It has to do with a culture, how each culture deals with death, and it happens to coincide with Halloween, of course. But Halloween's more of a European influence, and the Dia de los Muertos is more of a Latin American, Mexican culture. And it really became really prominent in the 70s. The Chicano awareness movement picked elements to enhance their own culture, and that was the time that this became. And I think it has to do with a lot of rituals, the different rituals.
You refer to it as living tradition, right? What does that mean exactly?
There's a really good blend of death and life at this time, and it's to remember the life of that person, not the death of that person.
Yes,
so
I love that.
It's a living tradition, right?
And you brought in the flowers here too. I'd love to explain, if you wouldn't mind, the significance of the marigold specifically.
Well, that's the name of our theme of the show that started on October 17th. It's Sempozichtle, which is the Aztec term for the marigold, and it's also known as the Day of the Dead flower. And the marigold, it has a really significant presence during the ofrendas. Our ofrendas are memory tables, and the petals are used. And the red one is the coxcomb, also known as the blood of Christ also.
Yes, wonderful.
And this tradition, why is it important in American culture?
Yeah, Brother William, I'd love to get your take on that.
Why is it important to American culture? This would be my take on it, and that's that Americans don't like to deal with death, and secondly, we like to get things over with in a hurry. And when it comes to death and grieving, mourning, you don't do that in a hurry. You do it in a natural process, and a celebration like this actually allows people to tell stories about the deceased, and telling stories is an important way of not only keeping their memory alive, but also doing your own personal grief work. And eventually that moves away from grief to celebration and that sort of thing.
And that's what this is about. I said there are 3 events, and that's kind of, I mean, it's hard to say it that way and take it lock, stock, and barrel, but let's explain to you this way so you understand exactly what's happening in Omaha if you'd like to be part of some of these things. November 1st through the 7th, we have an exhibit that's open daily, right? So our viewers are welcome to come to that at any point across the first week of November.
The gallery, it's Sunday Gallery, is open from Tuesday to Friday from 11 to 4.
Okay, so check
Saturday,
the gallery for hours on it. And then there were 2 other events. There's one on the 1st, and then there's one on the 7th. So what's that?
The first is inside the church. It's called Verbal Ofrenda with Scott Working, theater monologues. So they'll be placed, we have ofrendas in the church, so they'll be placed at different places the first time, but this one is going to be in Nebraska Chapel, Our Lady of Nebraska Chapel.
And then the 7th?
And the 7th is our finale. We're going to do the dance. It used to be called Chetal, but it's now known as the Mexican Dance Academy of Nebraska with Hector Moreno. Hector Moreno,
yeah. We like him.
It doesn't cost anything, but it's a $5 suggested donation. And, and then there's a reception afterwards.
A reception on November 1st and on the 7th. The November 1st is going to be giving away Day of the Dead bread and hot chocolate, Mexican chocolate.
I love that you're doing all of these things and that you took the time out today to come in and talk to us about it. Education is important, but really something you said sticks with me, and that sort of slow down and celebrate life. It's such an important message always, but thank you for coming in today.
Yeah,
I appreciate it.
Brother William, thanks a lot for coming.
We appreciate meeting you.
So